TJ versus Clef, day two Madden Bowl. And if you ever needed one game that would truly show you how bad this game is, it would be this game. Clef coming in as the number 5 seed, just took down the Zero Chill Challenge, ended up winning his first belt ever. As you see there, career earnings $352,000. TJ, this is really his second season. I think having a significant amount of MCS success. Made $161,000 over the last couple of years, and this year $46,000 in his last tournament, which was the Zero Chill event. I believe that Clef ended up winning. TJ got absolutely obliterated by Kiv first round at exit, and really just got beat. Like he just got popped, and that just is what it was. And so TJ comes into this, and I gotta be honest, I picked Clef in this game, and I was on day one. I was 4 for 4. All my picks worked. I actually have a video on the channel breaking down my picks for this event. Clef does get ball first. Clef is going to be in that Falcons bunch, which is what he won the Zero Chill event with. A lot of stuff that we can learn from Clef. I do think ultimately that Clef has kind of figured out the best way to run bunch in this game. He's really the only player that is going to be primarily in bunch as his number one offense, his number one formation. He's also going to stay in pretty much the same formation the entirety of the game. Defensively in the Zero Chill event, he pretty much was in 3-4. We're going to see him run more dollar. What's really interesting is TJ is coming into this matchup, and I don't know what he was in the Zero Chill event, thanks to the quad box, which was seriously one of the worst things that they've done all year long. But anyways, he is going to be in, I think, 146 on defense. He might be in dollar, but he is going to be in 6-1 and dollar, I believe, on defense. No, this is 146 because these stand up linebackers. So real quick, just one little thing here, kind of coming into the matchup. One to kind of break down the overarching elements of their schemes, offensively, defensively. TJ is going to be in U trips on offense, which is a new offense for him, I believe. But the main play that you're going to have to stop when you play Clef is you're going to have to stop this bench pivot play. He ran this so much last year, and this is definitely his number one play, and basically utilizes this play as my mouse thing's going crazy. He utilizes this play to kind of get you into a cover two. That's then going to set up kind of this play within his offense corner divide, or he'll run flood for the nice flat route, and then he'll basically just create a different variation of that. Another play you'll see him quick snap is verts halfback under with kind of a mesh, and then a crosser, and then some type of wheel over here, and then that streak. So he is in Falcons primarily for this auto motion. He will mix in that some, but again, the majority of the offense is really this is his number one play. So TJ is going to be in 146. You know that by this stand up linebacker here. He is going to be running crossfire, so pressure that way pretty much, and then he will have the disengage pressure to try to get this B gap. So pretty much this linebacker is going to be blitzing the majority of the game for TJ. I know TJ will mix in some 6-1 throughout this game, but that's kind of the basics of the schematics. And you see Clef starting out with a bench pivot setup. Going to get out of there with Mariota and get some easy yardage. Now, Falcons book did add in bunch spread in the playbook update. You won't see Clef go to that much. One of the other things there, quick snaps verticals, there's that tight end drag I was talking about. Clef is going to quick snap. And one of the things that he does, real subtle, that is going to allow him to quick snap a lot, is he's going to come out in the play that he wants to run. He's going to set up his pass protection first. So he's going to ID. You'll see there, ID or slide. It's like real quick, sets up pass pro, does 2 hot routes, and he snaps quick. That's kind of his strategy. He likes to catch you off guard. He makes it very difficult for you to adjust. One of the things that Clef is going to do a lot early on in this game, which I actually disagreed with, is you're going to notice that he is going to a lot more vertical passing than really we saw in the Zero Chill event. In the Zero Chill event, he ran bench pivot. I'm not even kidding you. Probably 50 times in 4 games. He ran that play so many times. So far in this game, it's been a lot more deeper down the field plays, which I don't feel like is really good in bunch. So you see here, I mean, he's checking down to a drag that was at a wide trail. I just personally was surprised as I watched this game how little Clef ran some more of that bread and butter West Coast stuff, and I actually think he made it harder on himself. I don't know if he would agree with that or not. It might have been just the way he was anticipating TJ playing. But this is not a new defense that TJ is running. He's pretty much running cover four as kind of his base shell, really what we've seen. There he does mix in some cover two. Clef actually had the streak for a touchdown. I think that it's really this cat and mouse game that Clef is going to play with you. That is either you're going to be, he's going to try to kind of, I guess, draw you into cover two, and then he's going to try to catch you in cover two with a play like here. You see this, a cover two beater. The problem is, in my opinion, he didn't really set it up enough. And so TJ was able to kind of get away with pretty basic defense majority of this game. But anywho, so and you see this. This is another little thing that he's running, this running back wheel out of wide trail. I didn't see him run that a ton in the zero chill event, but essentially what he's going to get with that is when you hard flat on that solo side, that solo receiver will clear out all the zones, and that running back wheel will be a late read down the sideline on the left side. So here again, another cover two beater combo. This was the one out of flood that I was telling you about. He loves to check down to that running back curl. He kind of leaves that. Again, just, Clev, very systematic offensively. It's probably what I like about him. He also is going to, again, try to snap the ball extremely fast. 4th and 1, when the chips are down, he's going to go to bench pivot. This is the bench pivot play, and you see it here. Throws that tight end drag, possession catch over the middle. I just really would have liked him to call that more. I feel like he had that play a lot more than he really took advantage of it in this game. Ultimately, I don't know that it really mattered because he was still able to score at a pretty high clip in this game. But I feel like he really only wore bench pivot out down in the red zone. And I would have liked to see him kind of call this play a little bit more. But you see here, back to back to back. This is his red zone dot. This is his red zone play. I think that is his 3rd straight time calling it down here. Again, we really haven't only seen him call bench pivot one time on this drive until he got inside the 10. And then he went back to back to back to back calling this play. Here, going to go to a seam streak to Zach Ertz back in the end zone. Almost able to hit it. Don't love what he's doing in the red zone. I feel like he's making the red zone a little harder on himself. He's not, like, he did not run the ball one time. Maybe that's just the way he is, right? He wants to pass every play. Totally can see that. He's going to hit bench pivot right there. Remember that throw. That throw is going to come back into play later on in this game. But this Falcons offense is really good. If you guys want to learn my version of it, it's in our school community. Also have a U-Trips breakdown in our school community. And what you're going to see Clef do on defense, the dollar, have that in our school community as well. So if you're looking to get better, make sure you do check out my school site. It's only $10. Get you access to everything that I know and I've learned about Madden 25, College Football 25. A lot of ebooks in there, and trying to just continue to add to that for you guys every single week. So if you're not a school member yet, the link is in the description if you want to check it out. Want to get into what TJ's doing. So TJ comes into this event really kind of having an odd year. Last year was really the year of Final Four finishes for TJ. He finished Final Four in a lot of events, got to the semis in a lot of events last year. This year, it's been basically like he makes the live, and then that's kind of it, right? He really hasn't gotten really deep into a tournament that I'm aware of in Madden 25. And so he comes into this event really kind of promising to change that. And this pregame interview kind of promised to change that. And he is going to be in this U-Trips. And I have to say, I don't think I've seen TJ run U-Trips before. And this, to me, is the year of U-Trips. This has been the best I've seen U-Trips probably ever. It's why it surprised me that D-Croft really didn't run U-Trips until LCQ. Could have been. I do believe that this offense got better with Conductor or with Master Tack, but this offense has made a live. I'm almost positive every single event, every single tournament we have seen U-Trips in an event. I'm almost 99% sure. This offense is really, really good this year. We're going to see it with Big Tay later in this event as well. Big Tay actually beat Skimbo in U-Trips. So just a good year for U-Trips. This little throw right here, I did want to break this down. You're going to see this a lot. what he's doing here, this is a speed out, but it's a 5 yard. It's a really nice it really is a nice route. And essentially, if you don't play cover two, this is going to be open. And it's almost impossible to switch it because it's literally a snap. He's open. I throw it. I don't know exactly how he's pass leading this because I've seen the animation he's getting. I've also seen this get caught, but he's going to consistently get this animation throughout this game. As you see here, what he's hoping is for just a basic possession catch right here, get your feet in and take the easy yardage. He's just not getting a good animation. Could have been something that changed in the patch, but in general, that is a really, really good route combo that he's utilizing. He's just not able to hit this out route. If he been able to hit this out route, it would have been a lot of different. It would have honestly been a lot different of a game, in my opinion, for him offensively. Here's that tight end drag. And honestly, one of the things about U-Trips that I think makes it really good is short post routes, tight end zig routes, and it is very well spaced. I personally believe U-Trips offers the best spacing in the game. The main weakness of U-Trips, in my opinion, and this is what you're going to see Clef do all game defensively. I want you to remember this. The main weakness of U-Trips is it has play action, but it doesn't have good play action plays. So most of the best plays in U-Trips don't utilize play action blocking, and that makes it harder to block this crossfire blitz. Partially why I think you see Clef in this. Another thing that we really haven't touched on yet with Clef's defense that I do think is worth mentioning here is what you're about to see. Notice the depth of his safeties. He's not going to do this every single time, but quite frequently in this game, his safeties are at the default depth within dollar. Personally, I actually really like that because what that does is it gives you a lot more variation in your coverage, and both safeties have mid-zone KO. Mid-zone KO being the most important ability in the game this year. I've talked about it for a while. I feel like a lot of people were late to the game on mid-zone KO. I really do, because there was ways to get mid-zone KOs here. Like, literally, the only ability that you have to have in this game, in my opinion, is these two players have to have mid-zone KO. I don't really care what you do everywhere else. Mid-zone KO has to be on the safeties. That being said, the other thing that I want to just quickly point out is Clef is going to also have pick artists on his safeties. So he does have pick artists all over the place. I believe he's rocking a 40 Eagles themed team. But one of the weaknesses of his safety's depth is the fact that you can throw to the tight end in the middle of the field, which is what TJ just did. First red zone drive for TJ. He's going to go to this Y trips out of the Pat's playbook. It has this little, I don't know exactly what this route is called. I think I've heard people call it a swirl route, but I'm not 100% sure. That route is really good. It gets kind of underneath a lot of zones, and it pulls zones inside. But again, what are you noticing? Hopefully, that Clef's four-man loop is consistently putting passive pressure on TJ. I'm really surprised at some of the changes that Clef does go to throughout this game. And I actually think he's going to make a big mistake later in this game that we're going to try to deep dive into more of the like psyche side and why he did that. I think that it really is a good lesson about a Madden game and how you have to, like, to a degree, as best you can, detach at times based on what happens. So here, one of the other things we're noticing on this wide trips is it's a stock zig, deeper zig out here. So what does that do? It destroys man coverage. So you see Clef kind of man locks the backside, and so that he can put really everybody else in coverage over here. And so that man-to-man, that whip route beats man-to-man, and so he is able to, really kind of have an easy touchdown on his first drive, honestly. So all in all, I feel like Clef's strategy defensively coming into this tournament really is to maximize his switch stick, which he has a very good switch stick, and we're going to see that later on in this game. The other thing that I feel like a lot of people have started to do in Madden 25, and I do believe is probably the best way to play defense, is this idea of kind of basing out of a cover 4 shell, send 4, bend but don't break, maybe a couple adjustments here and there, but in general, trying to force you to score inside the 10, because that is the easiest place to get stops in this game. There's that quick snap from Clef, verticals halfback under. One of the weaknesses of quick snapping and how fast Clef plays is you're seeing that TJ really within a cover 4, this is also what I'm trying to say. I just wish he would have called more bench pivot this game because he's calling a lot of these deeper plays that are just not open. You see here again, it's just easy switch sticks. That time, he was able to take an underneath route. I will say to TJ's defensive strategy, it could just be he's getting quick snapped very easily. Could be that. But I just feel like I don't know how you don't have a hard flat on the field every play against Clef. I really don't know how you don't have that. But we'll see consistently him throw a drag for 7-8 yards, and that is just I call that a layup throw. So again, I'm just really really surprised that we didn't see more bench pivot in this game. We saw a lot of wide trail from Clef. We saw a lot of verts. I really don't understand why he didn't really call bench pivot. I really want to know. I guess TJ's dropping that defensive end in the vert hook. Maybe that's what's going on. I truly super surprised. I thought we were going to see at least 5 calls of bench pivot every single drive from Clef. We really didn't see that in this game. So it's a lot of this right here, this vertical setup. Now, one of the reasons that Clef could be doing that as well is he's trying to pop match coverage. But I don't think TJ's really doing that. I think... Oh, no. I forgot about that. As well. One of the reasons why Clef is doing that vertical setup where he's streaking the outside guy is it is a cover 4 bomb. It can bomb cover 4 over the top for a touchdown. But again, TJ is in 1-4-6, which does not have cover 4 quarters. So it's cover 4 drop based defense. This is where I just think you need to see more bench pivot. And see, in critical downs, literally every single critical down of this game, Clef's going to call bench pivot. I just don't know why he didn't call it like on first down. I feel like everything outside of those critical downs are really a lot of these cover 2 beaters. Look, again, here's another cover 2 beater, and it's not cover 2. Look, it's cover 4. And again, this is just going to hopefully explain my point. Like, I saw this a lot this game, right? So TJ is dropping this defensive end, which is a super underrated adjustment. But really what it is it's cover 4. Right? In this case, he mans up the running back. Why does he man the running back up for the wheel route? But it's cover 4, guys. At the core, this is a cover 4 shell. Clef is running route combos that really are designed for cover 2. What are you throwing? What are you actually going to throw here? Like, is that corner route really that open? This is honestly terrible defense from TJ, in my opinion, because this is the only route on the field you have to care about. And this is the one route he throws. So, I mean, I just feel like Clef called most of his plays, designing them to beat cover 2 on the bunch side, and he was really getting a lot of cover 4 this game. I could be wrong. We'll see as we go through, but just kind of surprising because last tournament in Zero Chill, the dude literally wore out bench pivot. I mean, it was bench pivot every single time. So, anywho. Going to go back to the same combo out of Flood. Gets bagged. I just really believe Clef made offense a little harder on himself this game than he had to. And again, I don't actually think it practically really affected him. I think he was able to score pretty much every possession. Except for this one, actually. 2nd and goal. See what happens. So goes to that vertical setup. There's a drag, and that was that cloud flat on the left side. He probably, that's where I think Clef kind of got what he wanted over there, but because he's in the red zone, he can't fit that in. Anyway, 3rd and goal, probably going to be bench pivot. No, it is not bench pivot. Spacing switch. Running back manned up. Now we got a 4th and goal situation, and Clef's going to take his 3. So he does get stopped here. He's going to take his 3. This, honestly, to me, was the big difference in the game. 3 straight times, and I just think this is how Clef plays. He tries to catch you in cover 2. And then when he catches you in cover 2, he will bomb you. I just really felt like TJ didn't run a lot of cover 2, especially in that situation, was able to get away with that cloud flat on the left side. When Clef threw that tight end drag, Clef didn't hit that vertical fade. Either it was too tight or he just missed the read, one or the other. Anywho, Clef's defensive drive. Here we go. TJ gets 7. Clef got 7, TJ got 7, and then Clef just took 3. TJ going to this mid draw a lot. He does have Perry in here. If you guys didn't know, Perry has the best spin, which is kind of funny. Um, but he does have the best spin move for some reason in the game, which is crazy. But that's what this mid draw did. Every time Perry's in, pretty much he's going to run the ball. When CJ's in, he's going to pass normally. So you see here, put CJ in, probably going to pass. 2nd and 10, going to go to tight end whip. Nope. Going to cycle through, not knowing what he wants to do. Just going to take it down to the 2-minute warning. So now notice Clef is going to double safety. He's going to close off some of those throwing lanes. And now TJ is going to a 10-yard out route. And that's that lovely tight end whip play. I think tight end whip is such a good play this year. And again, tight end whip is just a very, very good play. It spaces out perfectly. There's some ways in which you can make it even better. Just love that play from Clef. I think that's one of the best plays in the game. Or from TJ, I think it's one of the best plays in the game. And people don't call it very much. Another halfback mid draw. Perry's in the game, runs the ball. TJ's trying to clock this out. He's trying to make sure that this is the last drive of the second half of the second quarter to be able to go into halftime because TJ gets ball coming out of half. So this is a critical end of half scenario for him. And so he's trying to, just make sure he doesn't score too fast, but also doesn't clock himself out of the half. So a lot of motion, a lot of zig routes from TJ. It's been a lot of zig routes. There, Clef kind of gets a little adjusting, manning up the slot, playing cover 2 on the left. TJ just takes that slot zig against man coverage. That's why these zigs are such a key route this year. They are probably the top route. Short post, zigs, return routes, fade routes, and then I would say auto motion, cheat motion. Those are really the top 5 routes in the game. Pretty much everything else you can create. Short corners are like a honorable mention, but I don't think they're a top route. I think it's truly the zig route, the return route, the short post route, the fade, like out of the bunch strong flood play, and then the the cheat motion. And then everything else you can create. Speed outs are a top tier route, but you can create it. Used to not be able to create zigs as easy as you can now with everybody having master tactician. Anywho, 3rd and 4 for TJ. And this is kind of a critical spot for Clef. Really don't want to give a touchdown up here. So this is kind of a key spot for him. And this is where we're going to see. So he's actually stemming that speed out all the way down on that left side, which is kind of interesting. This is where we are going to see kind of the issue with this game as a whole. You guys didn't know, right before this tournament, we got a patch. And on this patch, perfect timing. It's like I've watched this game before. On this patch, they said that they made it better for dropped interceptions, meaning you're supposed to be able to catch picks better. This is a Madden Bowl game. Clef switch sticks, puts him right in position, has pick artist on him, and he drops the interception. Why does he drop the interception? Well, according to Mole, the video that Mole shared with the community was probably because he collides. If you look at this, he kind of collides here with this tight end, this animation. He gets sucked into this animation. And guess what? It triggers a drop pick. Just going to say this right now. This is a flat-out lie by EA Sports. They told us that they fixed drop picks. The whole goal with the latest patch was we are going to reward good decisions and we are going to punish bad decisions. TJ, in an MCS game against the last belt winner, throws right at his user and he does not get punished for the interception. Rather, he gets rewarded for a stupid mistake in a critical, gotta have it situation moment. And this is not the only time that this is going to happen in this game. I'm really frustrated when EA Sports continues to tell us, and he's going to right back to the same play. This time, Clef kind of bags it up. Intentional. I'm so over EA Sports telling us that they fix things that they blatantly don't. I don't necessarily even care if you don't fix it. Don't tell us you fixed it and then don't fix it. This happens way too many times. It happens way too frequently. And this was kind of, to me, blatant. Like, this is blatant, and you're going to see it throughout this game. And I think it's really sad that it happens to Clef, who was the last belt winner. Honestly, had some other crazy stuff go on with EA this year that I think was kind of inappropriate on their part, just disrespectful to his, just disrespectful to who he is and kind of what he's meant to the MCS over the years. Anyway, TJ is going to end up getting 3. We're going to go into halftime 10-10 in a game that should have been 7-10. And those 3 points are going to come back into play later on in this game. All right, guys, we're back for the second half of action here. And TJ is going to get tie ball game 10-10. We talked a little bit about how there really shouldn't be 10-10. Clef dropped a blatant pick, was right in his hands, and he dropped it. And, is what it is. The A gonna EA. So we're going to continue along. Clef going to stay in this dollar. Now, Clef seems to kind of adjusted his strategy with his dollar, bringing those safeties down a lot more than he was the first couple drives, getting a little bit more aggressive slowly. To me, right there, that probably should have been a mid-zone KO. But anyway, one of the things you're noticing about TJ's offense, and this is why I say like Utrips is so good this year, because Clef is in what I would consider to be the best defense in the game. I think Dollar is the best defense in the game. And I believe that Clef is in the multiple defensive playbooks so that he could have 3-4 odd, which is what he used to win his last belt. But I do think, especially after the patch, Dollar became even better. The clear-cut best defense is probably Dollar at this point. Maybe 3-3-5 odd, maybe 1-4-6, maybe 6-1. But I still think Dollar clearly has the best. It's the best coverage by far. And what you're noticing in almost every single play for TJ is how wide open player, like they are. I mean, the spacing in this formation is just so good for this game. It really is. So anyway, I just think if you have not really took a serious look at U-Trips is really, really good. So again, here's that stem down all the way speed out. I'm going to tell you right now, if he does not stem that speed out all the way down, I think he completes almost every one of those passes, by the way. I've never seen someone stem it down like that all the way. I've always just seen the basic 5 yards and then out. The 5-yard out, to me, is always completed. But maybe there's got to be a reason he does that. Here we go. So here, Clef's going to get up, and he's going to say, that is 3. That is 3. He's going to look TJ in the eye, and he's going to say, that is the 3rd interception that I have dropped. That is third interception that I have dropped. And I want to break this down again. Again, guys, EA told us they are going to reward good decisions and they're going to punish bad decisions. Look at Clef's defense. It is quarter, vert hook, cloud flat, mid-zone KO pick artist, mid-zone KO pick artist, mid-zone KO pick artist. I know for a fact that this is pick artist. Why? Because watch what happens when he throws it. See the light up? And then see the light up. It lit up on the mid zone because he was reacting, and it lit up here because he's attempting to catch the ball. It has pick artist on it. Clef paid AP so that he could have pick artist so that when you throw the ball right at his face, he can catch it. He not only has a patch that says, we fix drop picks, yay Madden, but he also has an ability that says he will improve his chance to catch the ball. This is the 3rd drop pick of this game, and this is by far the most blatant one. TJ throws a pick 6. This isn't just a pick. This is a pick 6. He throws right at his face, and he cannot catch the daggone interception. At some point, the drop picks have to be addressed. Since we've been on Next Gen, it's been a legacy issue in Madden for a really long time. Since we've been on Next Gen, it continues to get worse. Defense is hard enough as it is. Clef plays amazing defense. He adjusts. TJ makes a bad decision. His 3rd bad decision of the game. And he's not punished for it. And so he gets another mulligan and he throws a touchdown the next play. Clef out of position with a switch stick TJ able to take advantage of it, but it does not excuse the third drop pick of the game. Clef is so mad. He's trying to mentally recover because he still has to play through this. He has to play through this game. There's a whole half pretty much left to play. He's down 7 in a game that he's been dominating. TJ got the 3 before half that he shouldn't have gotten. He got the 7 there that he shouldn't have gotten. At the very least here, it's 10-7 Clef's ball. This is so bad that this is in Madden Bowl and this is happening. Clef going to throw into a mid-zone KO right there. That very easily could have been a pick for TJ. If TJ would have gotten a pick right there, I think Clef would have literally walked up the stage. Because Derwin James, I know he does have pick artists, but it is just really bad. Clef goes right back to the same exact play, hits the crease. That's why he runs that verticals play. It's a real nice cover 4 dot, as long as TJ doesn't user it, which TJ's trying to run that disengaged blitz, which is going to take his user out of the play. So Clef having to fight through this mentally. And the reason that I'm bringing that up here, this actually could have been really dangerous switch stick there from TJ. I don't know why TJ didn't drop down on the running back, but you're going to start to notice that the frustration for Clef is going to continue to mount throughout this game, and I believe that it made Clef play worse. I believe that some of the adversity that he went through, I think it got him to a degree, especially on the defensive side of the ball, we're going to see a little bit later, it got him to a point where he was, the best word I could use is trying to force a stop, trying to press for a stop, trying to make it happen. And I think that was birthed out of a lot of the frustration and a lot of the urgency that they caused. Because the reason why it's so frustrating, here's bench pivot on the red zone again. Check this out. Clef had that in route in the back pylon, not able to get it out. 4th and 2. Clef gonna go back to bench pivot again. Notice every single big down, he will call bench pivot. The setup is the same every time. It's a flat on the running back. It's a drag to the tight end. It's basically just a quick read over the middle. He hits that zig in a nice little pocket, able to get the touchdown. And he's basically saying, like, give me my stop, right? Give me my stop. Been playing good defense all game. 17-17 ball game. It really should be 17-7 at the least. Maybe worse than that, because that was a pick 6, right? That he literally a 14-point swing in the game. There's just not a lot of things we can say other than this is what people have been saying about Madden for a very long time, and they are not listening. You have your broadcasters employed by AA saying this is ridiculous on the broadcast. All the people in the creator network and the content creators that cover this game are saying this is ridiculous. All the comp players in the bleachers are saying this is ridiculous. At some point, EA has to act. At some point, EA has to act, because this is one of the worst things about this game is the fact that you just drop every interception all the freaking time. This is why you can play people that call Ask Madden, because there's no consequence for a bad decision. And you're like, you look up at the scoreboard. I get messages like this all the time. How do I stop Ask Madden? How do I stop coach suggestions? It's because you can't catch an interception. So the one time you actually do get the stop, you can't catch the pick. That's what's going on. And I think it's just at some point they got to stop it. There again, TJ, that stem down out route, it's just not working. It's not working. I don't know why we're stemming it all the way down. He's got to know something I don't, but it's 0 for 3, right? Results speak. So, I heard this today. I thought this was a good quote. Results are the feedback of the process. Results are the feedback of the process. There's seam streaks. Hey, guess what else is the big issue with Madden 25? The fact that there's not a freaking zone in the game that covers the seam streak. And I think this is also why U-Trips is so good, because by having that seam streak, it really, how powerful the tight end is, right? And U-Trips is largely centered around the tight end. Just kind of maximizes that. Here's another one. That's 4. That's 4. So again, they put a great feature in the game. It's called Switch Stick. So what's Clef going to do here? We're going to back this up. He sees that he's reading this. He reads that this corner route's going to get open. He switch sticks to it. He bites down perfectly. Perfect timing. He stuck with it just for a second so TJ doesn't throw the streak. TJ throws right at his user. He catches the ball, but he doesn't get his feet in bounds. Sideline catch animations. The fourth pick that Clef should have had in this game. Not able to be done. Not able to be done. And as somebody that picked Clef, this drove me nuts watching this game. Because there's no way in the world that TJ should have won this game. No way in the world that he should have won this game. No way in the world this should even be a game. He was out of the game a long time ago. And somehow here he is. Also, by the way, look at this real quick. Just another thing, little thing. Look at this. So here's your tackle box, right? You kind of draw the box. Look where TJ throws this at. Look at that. Look where he's at. He's inside the tackle box. There's not a receiver over here. Look, there's no receivers over here. He throws the ball away. Look, there's no intentional grounding. Silly. Clef is getting absolutely cheated. Absolutely cheated in this game. And this game is for $25,000. Right? This is a big money game. Mid-zone KO lights up. He catches the ball anyway. You see Clef's frustration again, visibly frustrated. How do you fight through this? And I gotta say, man, like Clef fought through a lot of stuff in this game. He continued to fight. He continued to play good defense. He continued to put himself in position. He's dropped 4 interceptions, right? Another mid-zone KO light up, not able to hit him. It's just really hard to watch this film because you got to feel for Clef. Kind of felt like he broke through kind of an MCS barrier, and then you get something like what's happening to him in this game. And the fact that it is 17-17 is insane. It's insane. This is not a real game. This is what I've been saying, guys. This is literally not a real game. And that's a mid-zone KO, by the way. Normally that's a KO, but whatever. 3rd and 1. I'm not even trying to, like, it's not TJ's fault necessarily. I'm not saying TJ's bad. I'm saying Clef made the plays. Clef made the plays to win this game, and he's not being rewarded. Good decisions are supposed to be rewarded. Bad decisions are supposed to be punished. And you cannot watch this game and not see that they absolutely lied to their entire community on the patch notes. And it just bugs me. It really bothers me that here we are again. It's an MCS game, you know. Right there, good play for TJ. He catches him in the run commit. Clef just trying to sell out for the run. TJ ends up going to the pass there. Not really anything much you can do about that. It's just TJ guessed right at the end of the day. He thought Clef was going to run commit. He did run commit. He had the streak. He beat it. So 24-17. So again, one of the things that I said is you're going to start to see Clef. You're seeing this drop picks. You're seeing this fatigue, and I think you'll start to see it more. It's going to start to wear on some of his decisions. He doesn't necessarily make wholesale bad decisions. It's just he starts to try to force it through. He starts to try to force the play to happen. So goes back to that verticals play. That's kind of his main play, really, this game. Is just that verticals with the double drag, with the drag and the running back in route. It's a tight end drag, running back in route, and then a streak on the outside. Just takes 2 hot routes. Here he's going to mix in this cheap motion play. This is a 2nd and 1. I don't love this route combo for what TJ's doing, really, but he is going to have the post. He just missed it. What that combo takes advantage of is really the switch stick onto the left side inside quarter. I just feel like, also real quick, TJ did change up defenses. He's going to go and look what we're in again. Bench pivot, big down. We throw bench pivot every single time. Every single time we throw bench pivot in this situation. And that's going to take us to our 4th quarter. So put your 4s up. We'll see what happens the rest of this game. And, just like I said, just really frustrated for Clef. Just feel like it's not cool by EA at the end of the day. I think they might have actually made drop picks worse, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm going to go back to the exact same play here. What he's looking for is that inside quarter here. He's going to get that man up, and he hits this cheat motion over the top. I don't know why we threw that one. I think he thought he had a step on it, but he did not. And also, he's called cheat motion, back to back. Really hasn't been there for him. Going to go back to Y trail, really attacking that high low on that flat zone on the left. And you see, I just don't know why you would ever cover two on that left side. I guess you got to pick and choose your spots, but he's going to go back to it again. This time, finally able to hit that post, kind of in that pocket. Real nice read. And going to go back to this kind of mainstay verticals. Good switch stick by TJ onto that weak side inside quarter. Kind of hits CJ late in the play, able to get this. And again, this is where I just don't quite understand it. Clef's going to make a decision here to... I think he is. Let's see. I'm going to let it run a little bit here. Is he thinking about it? Let's just go. So he's going to go to bench pivot. 2-point play. Again, every big down, he's calling bench pivot. Doesn't get it. I don't love the 2-point call. And the reason why I don't love the 2-point call is because of what he does next. It's really, I understand the 2-point call if you onside. It doesn't end up mattering, but notice Clef, I think he meant to onside. You see his facial expression on the top right. I think he meant to onside it. He doesn't. He chooses to kick it out of bounds. And this is what an example of what I'm saying. Like, I think this is such an emotional game for him, and he's going through it, and he's getting absolutely railed by EA. He can't catch an interception, and he goes to that, and then he does this. He goes to 3-4 odd. Goes to 3-4 odd, immediately gets darted. So honestly, this isn't bad for him. The fact that TJ got a big play on first down is really what Clef would want, because he didn't get a touchdown, but he got him to a position where he can't clock him out mathematically. Now TJ cannot clock this game all the way out, so it's going to allow Clef to have another chance at the game. But Clef stays in 3-4 odd, and if you watch this, everything is open. Everything's open against 3-4 odd. Everything's open for TJ. You'll see it. And I just think it's odd. Everything's open, man. Gonna motion block, have the tight end zig, running back streak. It's just the freest stuff. It doesn't feel like... I just feel like the reason you go to 3-4 odd typically is because of pressure. TJ blocked this blitz every single time. You're playing U-trips where they don't have great play action plays. There he didn't block it. He chose to send 5 out. Really didn't have a good combo. Clef screamed at him. But, I just don't love the switch to 3-4 odd. I understand in the red zone, but I just don't love the switch to 3-4 odd. And this is where I started to really feel like the emotions of the game. He actually gets some stops here, but the emotions of this game, I think you start to see it really weigh on him here. When he makes this switch to 3-4 odd, you start to see just a lot different style of defense. Not really able to use her bump the tight end like I think he wanted to, but he does force TJ to go for 3. And really, if you're Clef, you feel good. You go down and get 7, you get out of this game. All is it all is well that ends well. TJ chooses to kick it deep. He's gonna make Clef drive the length of the field. Clef's goal here is basically to score with very little time for TJ to go down. Now again, remember, I said those drop picks are a massive deal. I said the field goal at the end of half was a massive deal. Clef this game right now should be 26-27, really. At the very least, it should be 26-27. Okay? So just picture Clef getting any of those stops, any of them, right? The pick 6, the TJ not getting the field goal right before half, if TJ not getting the touchdown where he dropped another pick in the red zone, any of those interceptions go Clef's way. This is 26-27, 27-27, 30-27 Clef. This situation completely changed, but it's 23-27, so Clef needs a touchdown. Goes to that tight end drag, able to get that first down. Kind of a tight throw, but is what it is. And I believe Clef should take this down to the 2. He does. And you know, you're seeing TJ. TJ's playing really good defense out of this 6-1, I will say. And again, if you just notice what TJ is doing here defensively, pretty much cover 4. Pretty much cover 4 hard flat, try to get a shed, try to switch something. Every now and then he'll blitz here. He sends a pressure. Clef able to get out of there with Mariota. Very underrated way to beat the blitz this year is just run away from it. So they made quarterback Zeus again. That's kind of a tight throw, but I mean, he hits it. Throws right at the inside quarter doesn't react. He has mid zone, doesn't matter. Catch it. Wheel route, not there. Crossman, the crosser. And you see, I just think like I'm just really surprised there was not more bench pivot calls in the actual offense. I feel like bench pivot was really only a play we ever used, like when we really needed a dot. And I feel like 90% of the bench pivot calls was inside the 10-yard line this game. Last tournament, bench pivot was called all the way up and down the field. It really set people up to get him in cover 2. And I just feel like he's not really like these are late reads or switch stickable routes. Like it's just not as good as he looked in Zero Chill. And it's not really anything TJ's doing. It's the play calls are different. But he's able to hit a wheel route again. There's that wheel route that he loves to hit. Out of wide trail, just wheel the running back, snap the ball quick. Gonna go to flood again. This is the consistent theme, right? Cover 2 beater, cover 2 beater. He gets the cover 2 call, but because of where he's at on the field, that corner route can't get enough clearance to be a safe throw. So he's gonna throw it away. It's gonna bring him a 2nd and 10. One of the other things that's kind of underrated about this situation for Clef, in my opinion, is he's choosing not to run the ball. He's choosing not to run the ball. He's choosing not to take TJ's timeouts. He's choosing not to take any clock here. There's a bench pivot call finally. Again, we're about the 10-yard line, and he's going to hit this. Big issue with this is you just gave TJ the ball back down 3 with 3 timeouts. TJ has 3 timeouts. Minute 3, if you're TJ, like the way this game is gone, you know, you couldn't ask for anything more. I felt like Clef should have ran the ball a little bit. I don't know if maybe, I don't know what was going through his head necessarily, but I do feel like didn't take any of TJ's timeouts. This is a very easy situation for TJ to be able to just move. The way this game's been going, Clef, you're not going to catch a pick. I wonder if he's thinking to himself, I have to catch a pick at some point. Maybe it'll be this time. I don't know. But I just thought, you know, really the lack of runs down there was I think is gonna I don't know. I just don't know why he didn't do that. Because you normally would see like a clock there a little bit or a little bit of something, but we didn't see any of that. We just saw him call his plays. Again, 3-4 odd. Almost got him there. It was just a little late, but he didn't get him. But I mean, 3-4 odd for Clef. Again, I just really would have rather him stayed in dollar. I think the switch to 3-4 odd was it just feels like everything's open, and it feels like he's not getting any pressure. There, he got him again. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. That's just amazing switch stick. And the thing is, he has lurk artist and mid zone KO on him. Like, what are you supposed to do? Look at this. I mean, this is just a great play. Like he's off here. He switches. He's biting down instantly. I don't know how you could play this any better. Look at this. Look at this. And oh, by the way, he catches the ball. I think that's 5. It's 5. That is 5 obvious. User clicked on, pick artist, lurk artist. It doesn't matter. Another dot. I mean, you just watch this game and you feel so bad for Clef. 5. Every freaking drive, basically. I think it might literally be every single drive, except for maybe the first one. Clef has dropped an interception. And somehow, TJ has 27 points. With the ball. still in 3-4 out. I just noticed like there's just not much pressure on him. He's able to roll out. Like there's just not much pressure on him. I think that's a big issue. I just think if he'd have been a dollar, it would have gone better for him. I think that Utrip struggles to consistently pick up dollar in my opinion, and because of the lack of the lack of good play action plays, 3-4 odd is. It just seems like Clef's not able to get any pressure out of this. And I think because he has to kind of watch the tight end so much because of the way the formation works, it it's just yeah. And you got him on a fourth down. He did get him on a fourth down here, 4th and 3. But I just didn't feel like ultimately 3-4 odd was really the move. Big fourth down here. TJ gonna block the tight end. And basically, that's just a product of not having good pressure. Able to get out of there with Williams. TJ almost scored there. And now we have a red zone position. I don't mind the 3-4 out in the red zone. I don't mind the 3-4 out in the red zone. I felt like it was really pretty good red zone defense from Clef. I just felt like trying to defend U trips in 3-4 odd, it just seemed like everything was open for TJ. I just felt like it really everything was open. But there was a crowd. Fullback dive, able to stop that. Yeah, see, I feel like the red zone defense really looked pretty good for Clef. I just felt like ultimately the outside of the red zone, it really didn't look that great. So swinging back wing pair again. This is where he caught him on the run commit last time. We'll see what he does here. Gonna flip. Now, if you're TJ, another underrated thing, notice what TJ is doing. He's running the ball. Why? So he can take Clef's timeouts, right? So look, watch. Every time he runs the ball, so he's running again here. Even though Clef's stopping him, look, takes his timeouts. What does that do? Well, it puts Clef in a position where he can't go down and score. Which to me, what you would think would be one of the goals of TJ. Or one of the goals of Clef on the previous drive. So I just thought I really didn't think he managed that great. But maybe he did it the way he wanted to, right? He did it for a reason. I just think the reason was he was so angry and he just was, I don't know. I mean, you saw like the not onsiding, the kick out of bounds, the staying in 3-4 odd and sending it, and it's not really working. It's working down here, but it was not working in the main field. Anywho, so TJ, kind of a decision here. I think ultimately for TJ, you're kind of too far out to go for it, and so you take this into overtime. The way this game has been going, you kind of did your job. You took the timeouts, 4th and goal, and see, notice then he just randomly goes back to dollar, which I think is actually the right decision. I just wish he would not have gotten out of dollar. That's just my personal opinion. I just think if he would have stayed in dollar, I think eventually he would have got something. But obviously hindsight's 2020. TJ is going to take his 3, and Clef's going to get an opportunity to go get a field goal and basically have an opportunity to be able to win this game. So all's well that ends well, right? Clef, 18 seconds. Notice, or actually 15 seconds. Also notice he did not return that. He intentionally wants the ball at the 25. Didn't want to waste time running the ball with his return man. And so Clef's going to try to get up the field quick. I actually really like the first thing he does here. This is spacing switch. And that was that streak. And then just the running back route. It just takes really nice advantage of any kind of potential cover 2 defense that you could have got. You might have been able to hit a touchdown. Didn't get it. Okay, we check down to spacing switch. Now he's going to get into this cheat motion play. I don't know for sure why he wanted to run that. He did have the in route right there, just a little late. But that in route does probably get him into position. Anywho, that's going to put him to 7 seconds. He's going to run the same play back to back. I feel like this is just a very easy user for TJ. He's just going to go to the in route. The streaks, I don't know what they're really supposed to do for you. Again, I think one of the big kryptonites of the offense in this game, and he only got stopped really one time. but he just didn't look as good offensively as he had all tournament in zero chill. And I feel like it's truly because he really never wore out the bench pivot in the main area of the field. He only wore it out in the red zone or on big downs. So anyway, that's going to take us to overtime. So these guys are going to go to overtime here. And I think honestly, this kind of goes the way Clef wants it to go. Like TJ gets the ball in overtime. It's like, here's your chance to get your stop. But again, he stays in 3-4 odd here. I'm pretty sure. And I just feel like every single drive he was in dollar, he stopped him. He just didn't catch the pick. 3-4 odd. Feel like he did have, I think that one was 3-4 odd that he didn't catch the pick. But I just feel like he really didn't have, I feel like things were a lot more open for TJ. Obviously, there's a reason he stays in it. Maybe just to change it up. That was actually the best we'd seen. Good pressure on a block tight end that really forced him. Man user over there struggling, breathing heavy. This user here too is trying to manually bump this tight end. Tight end stays in. You just see like when this tight end stays in, there's just almost no pressure. I mean, just in the zones. I mean, it's just the problem with 3-4 odd is you can't really base out of a cover 4 shell, whereas dollar you can. And because you can't base out of a cover 4 shell against a formation like U trips, the seams are you're gonna get killed in the seams or you're gonna get killed underneath, and I feel like that's ultimately what happened. Um, and that was pretty decent defense there. He got, oh my gosh, I forgot that one happened. Look at this one. I mean, so he mans up the running back. This is a really good switch stick. Look what he does. Switches here, and then look at this switch stick. He switches from here. Look at this to here, and he's gonna lurk this drag. Look, this is a lurk. That's 6. And you just see like kind of a defeated Clef. Like it's like, gosh, it's 6 times, man. That's 6 times. He's right there. Another bad read from TJ. I hate to be critical of Clef because ultimately I believe he was ridiculously screwed in this game. Should have won by multiple touchdowns. Dropped 6, like didn't catch 6 picks. 6 plays were in his hands, in his grasp, in his reach, and he didn't catch the ball. Not his fault. Right? Not his fault. So I hate to even be critical of it. Ultimately, I do think it's hard for 6 drop picks not to affect you mentally. Clef has to continue to tell himself over and over again, the next play, on to the next play, on to the next play. And the problem is every single time he makes a great play, he just continues to get punished, not rewarded. And TJ is getting rewarded for 6 bad reads. I think it's just terrible. Anyway, he's still able to move the ball down the field. Clef on the safety now, kind of out of position there. Tight end did, and TJ is doing a good job of blocking the tight end some the tight end and some. So he's kind of not letting Clef get into a real rhythm defensively. It's just a lot of high-low on that strain on that safety. If that safety goes back, that drags open. It's just good blitz beating from TJ. I mean, 6 drop picks is 6 drop. You know, not all of them were dropped, but they like weren't animated on or weren't caught. Right, 6 picks that Clef didn't catch. 6, pretty bad. Kind of highlights the main issue with Madden 25. EA Sports rewards bad decisions and punishes good plays. EA Sports, it's in the game. 2nd and 1, TJ is going to set up every running formation of all time, and he's going to run the ball. At some point, he's going to call play. At some point. All right, fullback dive for TJ. Hasn't worked yet. See if it works here. Second and 1. Doesn't work. I don't know why we're calling it still. Maybe you wanted to get stopped there to get more. I mean, you don't really. Time management's really not an issue. So, I mean, he actually really wanted to call that play, and that did not work. So, 3rd and 2, going to pass. Not surprised how much he's staying his, like, base offense down here. And Worthy's wide open in the streak. And I'm almost positive, guys. Like, what's TJ been running a lot out of U trips? If we really think, if we look at, we broke down the combos, it's a block tight end, it's some type of 2-man game here, right? But really, the main thing is post drag. Almost every time, he's thrown this drag for so many easy yards against man. So left, yellow, but problem is there ain't nobody there. That is why I think ultimately, if this is dollar, you have a safety over here, you have a triangular coverage system that you can run because Clef is sending pretty much 6 every time. You really are just inside outsiding. I didn't feel like it was. I just didn't feel like ultimately this just wasn't a great defense. Kind of a free touchdown, really. After everything, after how good he's played, after how many interceptions he's dropped, I feel like that was kind of free for TJ. TJ still had to make the read, obviously red zone, right? But he did. He made the read. He got the touchdown. And now Clef's going to get an opportunity to go down and score and potentially get a 2-point conversion. Let's see how this goes. So Clef out of here, kind of back to White Trail. And again, this is just it's really just like rinse and repeat. It's same coverage, same plays. TJ is going to do it from 1-4-6, but it's going to be cover 4 from TJ. Cover 4 man. This time he cross man the running back. Cross man a lot of people actually that time, or just manned up a lot of people there. I think he just kind of mixed in a DB Sting 2 buzz on him. That send 4 is so good. That send 4 just gave Clef fits right there. And now we got him on a 4th down. And you just see, I mean, it just sucks, bro. It just sucks. 4th and 10. He's going to go to flood for the bread. Notice, watch what TJ calls on defense, by the way. I want you to watch here real quick. I don't know where the flat zone is. I don't know where the flat zone is. I think he was expecting bench pivot because it was a big down. Ultimately, I felt like that was just too easy for Clef. 4th and 10. You know, don't cover the flat. It's like, what? But anyhow, 2nd and 9. Gonna go to that verticals play. Timeout by TJ. Didn't like it. And again, this is part of the Clef. Like, I'm gonna snap the ball really fast. Hit the right, hit the crosser out of there with Jefferson. Makes a move to the sideline, and he's gonna get in. There it is. So 36-37. Clef gonna go for 2 and the win. Everybody's screaming go for 2. We know he's going for 2. We know it's bench pivot. We know it's flat drag. The combo that he has ran over and over again. Right here, watch this real quick with me. So he threw the touchdown to the tight end last time, right? I'll give TJ Lowe credit. He is not going to let the tight end beat him. So watch what he does with his user. He says, I'm taking the tight end all the way. And then notice he switched sticks here really nicely. The throw really should have gone here or wait just a little bit, and this would have popped. But Clef, obviously it's a quick hitting play. He sees it quick. I think Clef thought he would get across a little faster than he ultimately ended up getting across. And TJ, the one, technically the second, but really the one time that Clef threw an interception, TJ caught it. Catches it. He's going to get the W. Clef, sick. TJ, fortunate. My first pick of Madden Bowl that didn't come to fruition. It's a pretty sad ending. Says good game to TJ. He knows he's frustrated. At the end of the day, boys, at some point, got to ask ourselves, is this actually a competitive game? And there's a lot of people that love Madden, play for thousands of dollars. Love this game. He had 6 drop picks. He had 6. And he lost by 1 point. If anything, it's a testimony to how good of a player Clef is, how Clef was able to fight through the adversity. A lot we could learn from that. Not hating on TJ, not really taking anything necessarily away from TJ, trying not to, because ultimately he did score. But I think 6 drop picks is a significant disservice to the integrity of the competition of the Madden 25 MCS playoffs. And I hope that going forward, people will speak up and speak out against EA for one of the least competitive games I've ever played. I want to thank you for watching. If you want to get better at Madden, check out our school community. That'll be linked in the description.